finger was swollen almost twice the size. It was all red with a pussy top. I said, what's happened to the finger? And the lady said, well, the doctor says it's cellulitis. Do you know what cellulitis is? Just inflammation of the cell. I said, what have you been doing? She said he's on his second course of antibiotics. He's on painkillers and sleeping tablets at night. 7. Did anything happen? Oh, he had a blister. And then he played in the dirt and the blister broke. And the dirt got on the skin. It's not rocket science. And of course, as soon as the dirt got into the blood, then the body reacts by sending white blood cells, inflaming the area to try and protect the area. I said, do you mind if I try something? She said, please. I said, well, what I'd like to do is get 2 cups. One cup's got hot water, the other cup has got cold water. And in the cold water, there are blocks of ice. It's a hydrotherapy treatment. What we did 3 minutes in the hot water, and we did 30 seconds in the cold water. And the reason this works is that hot is a stimulant. Because we know if we get into a hot shower or a hot bath when we're cold, it stimulates, doesn't it? It's a stimulant. But probably within about 5 minutes of being in a hot bath, we feel like falling asleep, don't we? So initially, hot stimulates and then it slows right down. So I put his finger in the hot water, but I'm only going to put it in for 3 minutes because by 3 minutes, everything's going to slow down. And then I put it into the cold. What happens when you have a cold shower? Has everyone been trying their cold shower? It's a stimulant, isn't it? But if we were to go and dive in a cold creek in the middle of winter, very quickly we start to slow down. In fact, in about 30 seconds. So can you see what we're doing here? We're using the stimulating time of hot, and by the time before it can slow down, we whiz over to the cold and wake it up again. And before that has time to cool down, we go back to the hot, wake it up again. Can you see what we're doing here? And you do that 3 times. More than 3 times can exhaust the body because this is dramatically moving the blood. You see, the blood is the life of the flesh, and that finger needs more blood. And that wound, in that wound, the blood had tended to sit and pool. So bringing fresh blood in drives the stagnant blood out, and when the fresh blood comes in, it's got oxygen, it's got nutrients, it's got water, it's got white blood cells, everything that finger needs to heal. Now, with the little boy, I had the hot water and I said, put your good finger in and tell me if you're comfortable with that temperature. Can you see? This morning we talked about the will. You've got to work with the will. And if that little boy said, I don't want to do this, I would say, okay. Can you see that? A man convinced against his will be of the same opinion still. But I find children are easily won. I say, do you know that this will really help? Would you like to give it a try? See, you show great respect to children and they show great respect to you. And it's only when I get that nod that then I will do it. Anyway, he agreed. He was sick of this finger, sick of the pain he was going through. So he put his good finger on. I said, is that good? He said, yes. I said, put this one in. If it hurts, pull it out. And he pulled it out straight away. I said, just keep putting it in. Just keep putting it in until you can bear it. And then eventually he could bear it. And then we timed 3 minutes. And then back to the cold. And the cold feels quite good because you've been so hot. Now, while his finger's in the cold, I put a bit of boiling water in the hot. And then I say, put your good finger in. Are you happy with that temperature? Can you see? You've got to work with the will. He nodded. After 30 seconds, back in the hot. And he could bear it a little bit hotter this time because his finger's been in the cold. Can you see that? He did it 3 times. And when I'd finished the 3 times, how long did that take? 10 minutes? He had a big smile on his face. I would say by looking at his body language, his pain level had reduced by about easily 50% in 10 minutes. Now that's quicker than any painkiller. Maybe IV morphine might be quicker. Isn't that amazing? In fact, hydrotherapy has been used for centuries, and in the area of pain relief, there is no equal to it. And then I put a grated potato poultice on his, because he had a lot of tissue inflammation around there. And when he left, he just had a smile on his face. The mother said, what'll I do now? I said, well, you can do that every 2 hours if he has discomfort. But I think it was something like 11 o'clock in the morning. I said, maybe do it again about 2 and maybe do it again before he goes to bed. And every time you do it, put a fresh potato poultice on, because that potato is going to start drawing out the waste and you want that thrown away. She said that when they got home, the little boy said, can we do that again? I think it was the next day, wasn't it? She said that all the stuff came out. So naturally, that potato had opened the wound.